YEEPS Hide and Seek has lots of gnomes. Whether it's just a regular gnome, maybe a graduation gnome, or a gnome with an unreleased color. Every gnome in this game has its own rarity. With that, it seriously begs the question, what is the rarest gnome in YEEPS? Though this may be difficult to determine, there's multiple things we can base it off of. First off, we can decide the rarity just based on how long the gnome has been in the game, or how long it's going to be in the game. If we base it off of that, the graduation gnome would be pretty rare. But of course we can also base it off of color. That means a default colored gnome is extremely common, and the ones with the custom or neon paint would be a little bit more rare. And of course this could also include unreleased colored gnomes. With all that said, what is the rarest gnome in YEEPS? Well, I've come to a conclusion that the rarest gnome in YEEPS is actually the graduation gnome. These custom colored gnomes are simply not all that rare, since you will always be able to buy the paints and always be able to paint the gnomes. Then you may be wondering why it's not the rare colored gnome. Well, this gnome right here was actually just gotten from one of the official maps. It happened to be painted an unreleased color, which is why I kept it inside of here. But since anybody could get this at any time, it's not all that rare. But then you could also be wondering, what about the buttcoin stash gnomes? Once again, since you can simply just go into an official map and take that, it isn't really all that rare. But can it get more rarer than the graduation gnome? Well, yes it can. So earlier I talked about the buttcoin stash gnome. And of course, these on their own are actually pretty rare. But what does this have to do with the graduation gnome? Well, in official maps are a buttcoin stash, and one map actually has a graduation gnome with a buttcoin stash from its nose. So yes, it can actually get rarer than the regular graduation gnome. But it doesn't end there. Earlier I also mentioned neon gnomes. There's actually no reason why there couldn't be a neon buttcoin stash gnome. So could a buttcoin stash neon gnome be the rarest gnome in the game? It may surprise you, but it can actually get rarer than that. Since the buttcoin stash graduation gnomes are not the rarest, if you painted one neon, this would actually be the rarest gnome in the game. If you're wondering why, well first we figured out that the graduation gnome is the rarest type of gnome. Next we figured out if I had a buttcoin stash, it would be even rarer. Next up we found that if we painted it neon, it would become even more rare. And there it is right there, the rarest gnome in this game. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.